What if I told you that there are only 5 exercises you actually need to focus on, and if you train them correctly, they can completely reshape your physique? Ignore these movements and it won't matter how often you step into the gym. You'll spin your wheels, stall your progress, and wonder why your body never looks the way it should. Master these and everything changes. Let's get into it. We're starting this list with the undisputed king of compound lifts, the deadlift. There are very few movements in strength training that come close to matching the deadlift in terms of total muscle involvement and raw physical payoff. This single lift trains the hamstrings, glutes, lower back, mid-back, upper back, traps, forearms, and core, essentially your entire posterior chain working together under serious load. That's why deadlifts build the kind of dense, rugged muscle that makes you look genuinely powerful, not just lean or athletic. One of the biggest advantages of the deadlift is how natural the movement pattern is. Humans have been lifting objects off the ground for as long as we've existed. Because of that, the deadlift feels intuitive once you understand the basic hip hinge. Unlike squats or bench presses, which often require extensive setup and technical cues, the deadlift clicks quickly when performed correctly. It's strength in its most primal form. Another reason the deadlift earns its place on this list is versatility. There are multiple deadlift variations, each emphasizing different muscle groups and movement mechanics. If we had to choose one variation that maximizes overall development, it would be the sumo deadlift. This version brings the quadriceps into the movement more effectively, which is especially valuable if traditional barbell squats aren't a primary focus. The wider stance shortens the range of motion while increasing leg drive, allowing you to move heavy weight with strong mechanical efficiency. To perform the sumo deadlift correctly, start by taking a wide stance with your feet set wider than shoulder width and toes pointed slightly outward. Position the bar close to your shins and grip it with your hands inside your knees. Keep your chest tall, your back flat, and your core braced. Drive through your heels, extend your hips, and stand tall while squeezing your glutes at the top. Lower the bar under control by hinging at the hips, keeping it close to your body the entire time. If you're new to deadlifting, there's no rush to go heavy. Beginners can start with trap bar deadlifts or Romanian deadlifts using lighter weight to learn proper hip hinge mechanics before progressing to heavier sumo or conventional pulls. Aim for 3 to 4 sets of 5 to 8 reps once per week, resting about 3 minutes between sets to allow full recovery and quality output. But if you think posterior chain dominance alone is enough to build an impressive upper body, wait until you see the pressing movement that actually makes your chest look jacked in a t-shirt. Exercise 2. Incline bench press. If there's one movement that separates a flat chest from a powerful, filled-out upper torso, this is it. The incline press is the lift that builds the upper chest shelf, the part of your chest that makes your entire physique look thicker, stronger, and more dominant from every angle. This is the difference between a chest that only looks good flexed and one that looks impressive at rest. Set the bench to an incline between 30 and 45 degrees. This range places maximum tension on the upper chest without dumping the load onto the shoulders. Lie back with your feet planted firmly into the floor and your body locked into the bench. Before you move any weight, pull your shoulder blades down and back and keep them there. That stable base is what allows the chest to do the work instead of the joints. Whether you're pressing a barbell or dumbbells, the principles stay the same. Lower the weight with control, keeping your elbows about 45 degrees from your torso. No flaring, no collapsing inward. Bring the weight down until you feel a deep, controlled stretch across the upper chest. That stretch matters. It's where growth begins. From the bottom, press with intent. Drive the weight back up in a smooth, powerful path while keeping your chest high and your shoulders pinned. Lock out at the top without relaxing or losing tension. Every rep should be deliberate, identical, and controlled, not rushed, not bounced, and never sloppy. The incline press isn't about ego lifting or chasing numbers. It's about owning every inch of the movement. Slow descents, strong presses, and constant tension are what force the upper chest to adapt and grow. Train this lift consistently, and your chest doesn't just get bigger, it changes the way your entire upper body looks. Exercise 3. Pull-ups. Up to this point, we've handled pressing, chest, shoulders, and triceps, but here's where most physiques fall apart. You can press all day, but without serious pulling strength, your upper body will never look complete. Width, thickness, and that powerful V-taper come from one place, your back. And no exercise builds it like pull-ups. Pull-ups are the ultimate test of real upper body strength. You're not moving a bar or a machine, you're moving your entire body through space. That alone forces more muscle recruitment than most gym exercises ever will. When done correctly, pull-ups train your lats, mid-back, traps, rear delts, biceps, and core all at once. Grip choice matters here. If your goal is to build mid-back thickness and overall density, the pronated grip should be a staple in your routine. It's a common belief that extremely wide grip pull-ups are required to build a wide back, the assumption being that wider hands equal wider lats. However, research doesn't support this idea. A 2014 study had trained men perform lat pull-downs using narrow, medium, and wide grips ranging from shoulder width to twice shoulder width. The results showed similar lat activation across all grip widths. This means you can expect comparable muscle growth with grips anywhere between 1 and 2 times shoulder width. Based on this, a practical recommendation is to start with a grip slightly wider than shoulder width and rotate variations over time. There's no need to go excessively wide, especially if that position causes shoulder discomfort or limits range of motion. To perform pull-ups correctly, begin by hanging from the bar with your arms fully extended in a complete dead hang. Use a pronated grip just wider than shoulder width. Initiate the movement by driving your elbows down and back rather than pulling with your arms. Pull until your chin clears the bar, squeezing your lats and shoulder blades hard at the top. Lower yourself slowly back to a dead hang under control. That stretch at the bottom is critical for muscle growth, so don't skip it. Reset into a full dead hang between every rep. For beginners, resistance bands looped over the bar can provide assistance while preserving proper mechanics. Assisted pull-up machines are another effective option. You can also build strength with negative pull-ups by jumping or stepping to the top position and lowering yourself slowly. Program 3 to 5 sets taken close to failure 2 to 3 times per week, resting about 2 minutes between sets. Once you can perform more than 15 clean reps with good form, it's time to add resistance. Use a dip belt or hold a dumbbell between your legs and treat dips like any other compound lift by increasing load over time. Next up is the shoulder movement that creates true 3-dimensional deltoid development and makes your upper body look complete and powerful. The fourth exercise is the standing dumbbell overhead press. This movement builds all 3 heads of the deltoids while also developing functional pressing strength and core stability. Performing the press in a standing position forces your core to stay engaged throughout the lift, creating total body tension and improved coordination. Dumbbells are preferred over barbell for this movement because they allow natural hand positioning and independent arm movement, which increases overall muscle activation. Research supports this approach. Studies comparing seated versus standing presses, as well as barbell versus dumbbell variations, have shown that standing dumbbell overhead presses produce the highest levels of neuromuscular activation in the shoulder muscles. One study conducted in Norway examined muscle activation across multiple pressing variations and found that standing dumbbell presses demanded the most stability, resulting in greater deltoid engagement. While this variation typically produces a lower 1-rep max compared to barbell presses, that's expected. The increased stability requirement limits how much weight you can handle. However, the trade-off is greater muscle activation and more complete shoulder development. Research comparing different overhead press variations shows clear differences in how the shoulders are activated. For the anterior deltoid, muscle activity is noticeably lower when using a barbell compared to dumbbells. Seated barbell presses produce roughly 11% less activation than dumbbells. Standing barbell presses are about 15% lower, and seated dumbbell presses show about 8% less activation than standing dumbbells. When it comes to the medial deltoid, standing barbell presses produce approximately 7% less muscle activity than dumbbells, while seated dumbbell presses show about 15% lower activation compared to standing dumbbells. The posterior deltoid shows even larger differences, with muscle activity roughly 25% lower during seated barbell presses compared to standing barbell presses, and about 24% lower for seated dumbbells compared to standing dumbbells. While it's true that barbell overhead pressing allows most lifters to achieve a higher 1-rep max, our primary goal here is muscle growth, not absolute strength. For that reason, dumbbells are the superior choice, due to their higher overall muscle activation and greater stability demands. That said, if your goal is to maximize both strength and size, there's no issue with rotating barbell and dumbbell overhead presses within your program. The fifth and final exercise is the dip. This is one of the most effective upper body compound movements for developing the triceps, which make up roughly 2/3 of your total arm mass. Dips don't just build arm size, they create the kind of dense tricep development that makes your arms look powerful from every angle. One of the biggest advantages of dips compared to isolation tricep exercises is that they also train the lower portion of the chest. This pairs perfectly with incline pressing, which emphasizes the upper chest, resulting in more complete chest development overall. For maximum tricep emphasis, maintain a more upright torso during the dip rather than leaning forward. Staying vertical increases elbow flexion and extends the range of motion, placing greater stress on the triceps. Leaning forward shifts more load onto the chest, which can be useful, but the upright position is superior if your main goal is building large, strong triceps. A common mistake lifters make with bodyweight exercises is failing to progressively overload them. Once you can perform 15 or more clean bodyweight dips with good form, it's time to add resistance. Use a dip belt or hold a dumbbell between your legs and treat dips like any other compound lift by increasing load over time. To perform dips correctly, grip the parallel bars and support your body at the top with your arms fully extended. Keep your torso as upright as possible as you lower yourself by bending at the elbows. Descend until your upper arms are at least parallel to the floor while keeping your elbows close to your body. Press back up by fully extending your elbows, locking out at the top and squeezing your triceps hard. Maintain control throughout the entire movement and avoid leaning forward. Add weight once body weight becomes too easy. Beginners can start with an assisted dip machine or resistance bands to reduce the load while learning proper technique. Bench dips can also be used initially, though parallel bar dips should be the long-term goal. Program dips for 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 15 reps, performed twice per week, resting about 2 minutes between sets. Begin adding weight once you can complete 15 clean reps. You don't need dozens of exercises, complicated splits, or endless gym sessions to build a powerful, jacked physique. What you need are the right movements, trained with intent, and progressed consistently. These exercises cover everything: strength, size, balance, and real muscle development. When you focus on quality reps, proper loading, and steady progression, your body has no choice but to grow. Stick to this approach, train with discipline, recover properly, and fuel your body the right way, and the results will show. Your chest will be fuller, your back wider, your shoulders stronger, your arms thicker, and your physique will finally look like the work you're putting in. If you want more training like this, no gimmicks, no fluff, just what actually works, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video.